Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something that completely transformed my viewers' relationships, the 2-minute morning check-in. Imagine strengthening your relationship every single day with just 120 seconds. Sounds too good to be true? Well, stick with me because I'm about to show you exactly how this works and why it's so powerful. Let's be honest, we're all facing the same challenge in our relationships today. You know that feeling when you and your partner are physically in the same space, but mentally, miles apart. You're both there, but somehow not really there. Between work, kids, and endless notifications, meaningful connection gets pushed to the bottom of the priority list. Days can go by with just surface-level conversations about groceries and schedules. And here's the tricky part, those small disconnections. They're like tiny cracks that grow over time. Before you know it, you're wondering how you drifted so far apart from the person sleeping right next to you. So what exactly is this morning check-in I'm talking about? Think of it as your relationship's daily vitamin, a small but powerful ritual that takes just 2 minutes. It's not about lengthy discussions or solving big problems. It's about creating that vital moment of genuine connection before the day sweeps you away. We're not talking about the autopilot "how are you?" That gets the standard fine response. This is about asking questions that actually matter and listening in a way that makes your partner feel truly seen. It's like creating a tiny bubble where both of you can be completely real with each other. No judgment, no fixing, just pure presence and understanding. Whether you're feeling on top of the world or struggling with something, this is your space. The beauty of doing this in the morning is that it sets the emotional temperature for your entire day. It's like planting a seed of connection that keeps growing even when you're apart. Let's break down the 4 essential elements that make a morning check-in truly effective. The first pillar is physical presence, and it's absolutely fundamental. This means actually turning your body toward each other, not side by side, not while multitasking. Just like you'd want someone's full attention when sharing something important. Those phones, they need to be out of sight. Trust me, Instagram can wait for 2 minutes. Eye contact might feel intense at first, but it's like turning up the volume on your connection. It says, "You have my complete attention right now." Next up is what I call the emotional temperature check. This is where you share how you're really feeling, not just good or fine, but maybe excited but nervous or a bit overwhelmed. Using actual feeling words helps create emotional literacy between you both. Instead of "it's been a rough morning," try "I'm feeling frustrated and anxious." Here's the crucial part. When your partner shares, just listen. Don't jump into problem-solving mode. Sometimes people just need to be heard. The third pillar is the daily preview, and it's a game changer. Share 1 or 2 main challenges you're facing today. It could be a tough meeting or a deadline you're worried about. Be specific about how your partner can support you. Maybe you just need them to send an encouraging text, or perhaps you need them to handle dinner. Highlight any moments where you might especially need each other. Like if one of you has a presentation, knowing that lets the other send support at the right time. Finally, we have the connection seal. Think of it as your check-in signature move. End with some form of physical connection, a hug, kiss, or even a special handshake. It might sound cheesy, but it works. Share one thing you appreciate about each other. It could be as simple as "thanks for making coffee," or as deep as "I admire how hard you're working on your goals." Take a brief moment to feel grateful for having this time together. It's like putting a bookmark in your relationship story each day. Let's look at what makes or breaks a morning check-in, because sometimes the smallest shifts make the biggest difference. On one side, we have the common traps people fall into, and on the other, the approaches that create real connection. You might think you can check your emails while doing the check-in. Trust me, your partner can tell when you're half present, and it completely defeats the purpose. Just 2 minutes of complete, undivided attention is worth more than 20 minutes of distracted conversation. Put everything else aside. This is your investment in your relationship. When your partner mentions they're nervous about a presentation, jumping straight into solutions like "just practice more" can make them feel dismissed rather than understood. Simply nodding, maintaining eye contact, and saying, "I hear you," can be more powerful than any advice. Sometimes support means just being there. Trying to turn this into a 30-minute therapy session will make it unsustainable. Remember, we want this to be doable every single day. Think of it like a power boost, quick, energizing, and effective. You can always have deeper conversations later in the day. Using this time to list everything that's wrong in the relationship turns it from a connection tool into a weapon. Nobody wants to start their day feeling attacked. Frame everything through the lens of building connection. Instead of, "You never help with breakfast," try, "I'd love to make breakfast together." Ironically, people often skip the check-in on their most stressful days, exactly when they need it most. The busier you are, the more important this becomes. It's like charging your phone. You need it most when the battery is low. This isn't just feel-good advice. There's fascinating science behind why morning connection is so powerful. When you connect meaningfully with your partner in the morning, your brain releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Research shows this morning boost of oxytocin doesn't just make you feel closer. It actually helps buffer against stress throughout the entire day. It's like putting on emotional armor together. Here's something incredible. Couples who regularly connect in the morning actually start synchronizing their cortisol patterns. This means your stress hormones begin working in harmony, making you more attuned to each other's emotional states. Think of it as getting your relationship's biorhythms in sync. Scientists using femisays have found that couples who maintain regular meaningful contact experience something called neural coupling, where their brain patterns actually start to mirror each other. This happens most effectively during morning interactions, when the brain is fresh and receptive. Regular morning connection activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for emotional regulation. This means that brief morning check-in literally helps both partners maintain better emotional balance throughout the day. It's like doing emotional push-ups together. Let's look at how this simple practice creates lasting positive changes in your relationship. Think of small relationship issues like tiny paper cuts. Individually they seem minor, but let them accumulate and they really hurt. Daily check-ins catch these small problems before they become relationship emergencies. One couple told me they avoided a huge fight about household responsibilities simply because they mentioned feeling overwhelmed during their morning check-in. When you know you have a dedicated time to connect each morning, it creates this incredible sense of security. You stop feeling like you have to solve everything immediately or grab your partner's attention whenever you can. It's like having a relationship safety deposit box where you can store your concerns knowing they'll be addressed. Here's something fascinating. Couples who practice morning check-ins report feeling more connected physically and emotionally throughout the day. It's not about forcing romance. It's about creating those micro moments of connection that naturally lead to deeper intimacy. Like planting seeds that bloom throughout the day. Every time you show up for these 2 minutes, really listen and hold space for each other, you're making a deposit in your trust bank account. Over time, this builds an unshakable foundation of reliability and understanding. Partners report feeling more secure, even when facing major life challenges. Now, let's talk about how to make this practice stick, because knowing what to do is one thing, but making it a natural part of your daily life is another. Don't try to commit to forever, right away. That's overwhelming. Instead, make a pact with your partner to try this for just 30 days. It's like taking your relationship to the gym. You need that initial commitment period to see the results that will motivate you to continue. Look for an existing morning routine you can attach this to. Maybe it's right after you pour your coffee, or just before you head out the door. Behavioral science shows that linking new habits to established ones makes them much more likely to stick. One couple I know does their check-in while waiting for their morning toast. Simple but effective. Life happens. Sometimes mornings get crazy. Have a backup plan ready, like a quick video call during your first coffee break if the morning gets derailed. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency over time. Think of it like having a spare tire for your relationship routine. Use a simple tracking method, maybe a shared note on your phones, or a small calendar on your fridge where you mark each successful check-in. Seeing your streak builds momentum and motivation. It's like watching your relationship fitness score go up day by day. Acknowledge and celebrate when you hit milestones, 1 week straight, then 1 month. Share what positive changes you've noticed. Maybe treat yourselves to a special date night as a reward. These celebrations reinforce the value of your commitment and make the habit more enjoyable. You know what really makes this morning check-in transform relationships? It's not about having the perfect words or doing it exactly right every time. It's this fundamental truth about showing up consistently that matters most. Think about it, every great relationship story isn't about grand gestures. It's about those small daily choices to turn toward each other instead of away. When you commit to showing up every morning, even when you're tired, even when you're stressed, even when you don't feel like it, that's what builds an extraordinary relationship. It's like compound interest for your emotional connection, small daily deposits that create massive returns over time. Let's turn everything we've learned into action, because knowledge without action is just entertainment. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start. That moment is tomorrow morning. Pick one question you'll ask each other, even if it's as simple as, "What's on your mind today?" The journey of 1,000 connections starts with a single check-in. Look at your morning routine right now and decide exactly when you'll do this. Maybe it's 7:15 a.m. over coffee, or 8 a.m. before leaving for work. Being specific makes it real and eliminates the "we'll do it sometime" trap. Watch this video together with your partner tonight. Have a conversation about what resonated with you both. Remember, this is a team effort. When both partners understand the why, the how becomes much easier. I've created a free morning check-in guide with everything you need to get started: question prompts, tracking calendar, and troubleshooting tips. Click the link in the description to download it now. Consider it your relationship starter pack.